Hello everyone. Um, I'm actually at work today. I'm on break and I'm going to tape my presentation here, and I thought it was apropos that I'm sitting in front of a chalkboard, which is sort of anti-technology but kind of makes a nice counterpoint to the rest of what we're going to talk about today. First off, I would like to say that I'd like to thank everyone for a great semester. I hope you've all learned as much as I have. And let me just jump right into it. For the last year, I have been teaching technology to underserved populations in Milwaukee through my job as a library technology specialist with Milwaukee Public Libraries. I teach basic computer classes on up through Microsoft Office products. And believe me when I say that I work with every single skill level imaginable. So that's going to be my focus here. Public libraries, their technology, and the patrons we serve. While my job is all about technology and how best to teach it to those who may have little knowledge of computers, I think it is the non-tech teaching skills that make for a good teacher. I pride myself on my work, and I strive to make something that can be confusing like computers a fun subject that can be understood and retained. How do I do that? Quite frankly, it's passion. I try to show everyone how much technology and teaching mean to me on a daily basis. I try to infuse them with that same passion that I have to move beyond the fears that they may feel and truly grasp the concepts that I'm teaching. From the beginning of our program, it's been a challenge, both from a technological standpoint and a user ability standpoint, to make our classes up to date and as understandable as possible. Let's focus on the past for a moment. The classes I teach have been an ongoing project now for over 7 years. As you can imagine, technology has changed rapidly over that time. The thing is, in a public library, especially one as large as MPL, even when the outside world is changing quickly, our budget really isn't. And we're still a bit behind. This suits our patrons just fine, at least in the more poverty-stricken areas where I work. Their needs are just having any internet access at all and learning the basic skills to use them. In some ways, our technology at the library is still a bit in the past. We have a little bit older desktops that run slowly and laptops that take a real beating from everyday use. The computers are functional though, and they do run the software that our patrons expect, including all of the Microsoft Office products, which are a major focus of my classes. It is a major challenge for us to keep our curricula growing and evolving with the technology, but that's what we have to do. We are constantly rewriting and putting in new screenshots. One of our classes deals a lot with Google Maps, and I swear that Google Maps changes and updates their software on a near daily basis. The present sees us with relatively modern machines and access to many tablet devices and e-readers that we can use to teach with. We've done outreach at some venues that are using Linux machines from around 1998, and I can tell you that MPL feels very advanced in compared to that. Even though our focus is to teach our students how to use virtual tools, we are lucky that all of our instruction is done in person. I crave those connections with my students that you just can't get in an online or virtual environment. I need to see and hear my students so I can help them best. As an aside, I used to be a math tutor for UWM, and I had to teach in person and also in a virtual environment. I hated the virtual teaching. I couldn't connect to my students, and I believe that my work suffered for it. It was emotionally draining to feel like I wasn't helping to the best of my abilities. Emotional drain sucks some of the passion from you, and as I've mentioned before, passion is the key. I've touched on the past and the present technology situations for MPL, but what will the future hold? Well, actually, the future is now for MPL. With the building of the new East Branch, we were gifted with 10 new Mac laptops for teaching and patron use. This was attained through a grant, and we're very lucky to have gotten it. This is a big jump forward for the library, and we're doing our best to make good use of them. Like most technology that is new, even if it is only new to us and our patrons, there has been a learning curve and there have been bumps in the road. MacBooks have so far been our greatest failure to date, no doubt about it. Much as in any bureaucracy, there are many departments that have a stake in how the MacBooks are presented and used in our libraries. We, the teachers, are told that we had to teach PC classes on the MacBooks. The MacBooks have a parallel desktop feature that allows us to run Windows 7 in a Mac environment. They also have the Microsoft Office software preloaded. So it didn't seem like it was going to be really that big of a deal. Well, we were given 0 days to prepare and test. We have established curricula that we have to read from and teach from, and to do this with 0 testing time on Macs was, needless to say, an issue. Um, it turns out even though we're running Microsoft software in a Microsoft environment, the Mac hardware just didn't play along with us. There are just certain commands that we couldn't do, certain commands that maybe we can, but we haven't figured out how to do them just yet. Now you put that together, keep in your mind, as I talked about before, we have students of all abilities, especially a group with low skill level, and there's confusion. There's confusion on my part, and that transfers over to the students. If there's something that I can't figure out, how can I expect my students to figure it out? And I'm trying to do this all on the fly and teaching a 2-hour class at the same time here. This brings me back around to where I began. It was my passion for teaching that helped me find a way to keep these classes engaged. When things were not going well, I still was able to help them push through and feel like we'd learned something by the end of the day. Technology is but a tool. It can aid in our instruction of students, but a good teacher uses knowledge and passion to convey the right message even when the technology is crashing down all around us. It is an integrated environment that makes for the best infrastructure for our students, and I don't think that it is just in my particular teaching environment. I think it's a pretty much universal concept. So to sum up, I think that teaching is best done in person, with or without technology as an aid. As I just mentioned, technology is a tool. A good teacher will use it to their advantage, but they will really rely on their knowledge and passion to engage their students. This is so important, even when I'm teaching technology itself. I constantly remind myself that for some people, technology can teach itself. That isn't the group of people I'm serving, though, and I have to be the human connection to the technology to help take down the learning barriers for my students. Knowledge and passions are the key. Books, smartboards, computers, tablets, chalkboards, they're the tools of the trade. Without a passionate and knowledgeable teacher, the tools will mostly sit there unused. Thank you for listening, and I hope this has helped to convey my teaching style and how I go about teaching technology every day. Thank you.